Check it out, we have the Injora IR40 sitting in front of us right here, ready to put on the Trxx4m back there. It looks like we're gonna have to put this thing together. We have 22 of these, 4 of these, and 4 of those, ready to assemble our body right here. We're gonna start with the rear end, which is gonna consist of this piece, these 2 pieces, and this piece. We're gonna start by bolting all those together. We're gonna need 14 of these screws. We're gonna start by installing this on these 2 mounts. This is what it's going to look like when you're done putting that piece on. And remember, when you're screwing this on, you're screwing into plastic, so just screw it until you don't see the gap in there anymore. You don't have to torque any of these down. As long as you don't see a gap there anymore, that's good enough. Next, we're going to get these side plates on there. That's going to take 3 screws on each side. And this piece right here is the bottom. And that's what that looks like installed. Now let's get that back piece on. And the back piece goes on here with 6 screws. This is what I mean by just screw it in until you close that gap. You see that? Once that gap closes, it gets a little tighter, and if you can feel that, then you stop there. But if you can't, just stop when the gap is closed. Now that we have the rear cage complete, we can continue on to assembling the front end. We're gonna have to put these little light lenses, the front grille, and the latch right here up in the front. I'm gonna snap this grill up front here. It's a pretty tight fit, so it should just stay there. Now you can put the lenses. They stay in there pretty nicely. Then you're gonna grab the latch. The latch and bucket system is going to install this way. And out of the 4 short screws you're going to use 2 of those on here. And this is what it's going to look like when it's fully installed. You're just going to get your mirrors. You can press fit them here in place, or you can also put a dab of glue before you press them in there, so that way they stay on there permanently. Now at this point, I like to install the front LEDs because I like to run the wires through this section right here to hide them before I put the screws in there. That's pretty much how I install it right there, with those underneath those 2 screws. And you're going to use the other 2 short screws right there in those 2 locations. And now let's get the back half on here. You're going to need this right here for these 2 locations to support those screws. So it's 4 screws right there and 2 screws for these locations right here. So there's those 2 pieces installed right there that holds the back half together and also pushes that rear window so it properly lines itself up back there. And you have your other 2 screws right here. And that holds the rear half to the front half. And now let's install the LEDs back here. There you go, LEDs are pressed in. And that one plug just goes into your receiver. Now this last part right here is for the rear mount to mount it onto your chassis, and that just screws into here with the last 2 screws right there. There are holes for 8 screws to attach this chassis, but I think these 4 will suffice. That's how that mount installs back here. I snug these screws down quite a bit, so that way whenever I lift the body up, it'll stay in that position hopefully. That's my hope. And this right here is the front bumper that you're going to need to install to match up with this. And it's going to clip into that clip right there. So for demo purposes, I made this easier for myself by taking off the screws to this guy, but pretty much just remove the body. Now the rear bumper is going to have 2 screws, 1 on each side. Then you can slide that out, and same with the front, 2 screws on each side. Then you can slide this out. It's going to be zip tied on this side right here with your servo wire, so you're going to have to cut that zip tie and re-zip tie your servo wire on afterwards. Once we have these all out, we can install the front bumper, and the body just slides onto here. And then those 2 same screws, front and rear, is all I'm going to use with these screws right here. Wow, there you go guys. Now it's a Yoda. No offense to the Ford body, I like that one a lot. But now we have this guy here with a little latch system. See, that's why I tightened those a little bit so I can hold it up like so. Now you're just gonna have to button everything up, tie down everything with zip ties and stuff to your liking. Make sure everything's out the way if you're running a brushless outrunner so nothing gets caught in that. And you're ready to go. All right, here we have my Trxx4m with the IR40 Injora body and, you know, all its other mods. Let's go ahead and take it up this and let's see what it can do. Let's try some harder lines right here. I'm running this thing on 3S right now. This is a Komodo brushless motor from Furytech and a Stinger ESC, I believe, or I forgot the ESC name, but it's a Stinger combo for the Trxx4m. It's an older combo, didn't have a case to it. It's trying. Oh, and it's gonna do it, I think. That was a pretty sweet line right there. Now let's tackle the hill climb.
What we do here is go back.
Well, there you go, guys. The Trxx4m with the IR40 body definitely improved the performance. Scraped it all up already. Oh, pretty sad about it a little bit, but nope, it's all right. That's gonna happen anyway. I got the little Yoda printed sign up there. I just couldn't print a smaller one because my printer didn't want to print it nicely. So that's the biggest I got, so I just cut it and made it Yoda. I have rock sliders in the bottom, some tape to protect the body down here, and a 3D printed fuel cell. Alright guys, thanks for watching as usual, and as always, stay safe out there, go have fun, and run that RC.